Good day. In this video, we're going to look at your times tables from 0 times 1 up to 10 times 10. We're going to show you a possible way to prepare to learn your times tables. Firstly, you need a sheet of paper on which you have your times tables with their answers. Then you duplicate it. We need two of them next to each other. On the left-hand one, we will scratch out those that we know and keep going on and highlight those that we don't know. We keep all these as backup if we ever forget one of those that we scratched out. I wrote the two sets of timetables of the 2 times table down here for you twice. So here I had 0 times 2, 1 times 2, and I swapped it around, 2 times 0 and 2 times 1. What you need to know is that there is a rule in maths that says when you do multiplication, you're allowed to swap the numbers around if it suits you. So 3 times 2 will give me a 6, but also 2 times 3. It means different. This means you got 3 2's, and yet it means you have 2 3's. But when we're going for the answer now, the 6 will stay 6. So I'm telling you that you can swap a times table around to suit you to find the answer. We will make separate videos for each times table. It will be called times table 1 for the 1 times table, times tables 2 for 2 times table. So let's run through all these tables quickly and see how we're going to go about it. The first one is the 1 times table. It says 0 times 1 is 0. Most people understand that anything times 1 stays the same. So 1 6 is a 6, 1 7 is a 7. So the answer here stays the same. Just 0 times 1 is 0. The moment you know your 1 times table, which most people do, you physically cross the 1 times table out. Then you go to each other times table and cross out the 1 times table in each of them. Now you already know 20 of your multiplication tables. Next we're going to look at the 0 times table. Let's look at 0 times 2. That means you've got no 2's. So the answer is 0. 0 times 3, you've got no 3's. That's also 0. So 0 times anything gives us 0 every time. That's not so difficult to remember. Then we cross them out, and then they're also gone. Next is the 2 times table. The 2 times table we will usually do with doubling. Let's take 3 times 2. It's actually 3 plus 3 will give you 6. 4 times 2, it's actually 4 2's, but we'll go 4 plus 4 is 8. 5 times 2 is 5 plus 5 is 10. So we double the number that we have. Let's say you know your 2 times table, then we can take out the 2 times table by physically putting a cross through it. Then you take out the 2 times in every other times table because the answers will be the same. Now, when we get to the 3 times table, you will see that we blocked 4 of these 3 times table sums. They have to be highlighted, and you must make an extra list of them because that is usually those that people have the most trouble with. You will also see that if you are in the 3 times table, you've got 4 times 3, which I'll cover in the 4 times table. The 5 times 3 I'll cover in the 5 times table. And the 9 times table we'll cover in the 9 times table. So there are 4 that you have to learn. Or by either going 3, 6, 9 getting the answer, and here 6, 12, 18 getting the answer, but you have to find a method for yourself, which we'll do in the video on the 3 times table. So like I said, I advise you to highlight these and rewrite them on a separate piece of paper for yourself to put on your wall to study separately. Now I'm going to leave the rest of the 3 times table for a minute. Let's go to the 4 times table. The 4 times table we're going to use by doubling the 2 times table. Example, 3 times 4, I'll go 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 6 is 12. The 4 times 4, I'll go 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times 2 is 16. That's what we'll use on the 4 times table. We'll double. When you know your 4 times table, of course you cross him out, and you cross out the other 4 times tables in the other. Then you look here at the 3 times table, which ones you highlighted, and you're allowed to cross them out in their respective tables. You'll cross out this one down here, cross out the one in the 7 times table and in the 8 times table. Next, I'm going to go for the 10 times table, which people also enjoy because it's 1 times 10 is 10, 5 times 10 is 50. They don't have trouble with that. So we cross out the 10 times table and we go to each other table and take out the 10 times table in it too. Next, we'll go for the 5 times table. Every 2 5s gives you a 10, but we'll make a video on that. And when you understand your 5 times table, you can also take that one out. And you take out all the 5 times tables in the rest of the time tables. Then we get to the 6 times table. Now you'll see a lot of the 6 times table is already understood and you know it. You don't have to learn it again. So here is 3 more that I need you to highlight to learn separately until you know them. That'll be 6 times 6 is 36, 7 times 6 is 42, and 8 times 6 is 48. Then you also go and remove them from their tables next door. Then we get to the 7 times table and look how few are left that we must learn. And again, we're going to highlight these two. 7 times 7 is 49 and 8 times 7 is 56. Again, we have 8 times 7 under control, so now we can take him out here. And you immediately highlight 8 times 8. So all these red ones, there are 10 of them. We need to learn separately, each person on his own. And then after that, you should know what you're doing. Now you'll see, we just have to do the 9 times table. And if you look creatively at it, you'll see there's only a few left. But we will teach you with the times table on the 9 times table to use your fingers and one other method, how to work it out quickly. Then, if you have the 9 times table under control, you took it out. And then you also took it out in every other times table on the whole page. Now, the red ones that were highlighted by us will now stand out. And you can focus your full attention on them and find a way to memorize them and remember them. So in short, remember, scratch out those that you know, highlight those that you have trouble with, and keep one on the side that you can fall back on if you forget one of your tables. Enjoy learning your multiplication tables. Please indicate whether you liked or disliked the video and subscribe to the channel. If you have a problem with anything in school mathematics, you're allowed to send a clear WhatsApp picture of your problem to this number and a clear WhatsApp picture of where you tried it. Then we will try and solve the problem and send back an answer to you as soon as possible. Enjoy your multiplication tables.